we need to be competitive in the market. We need to think about this more than just the bare minimum. We need to think about these as life-changing opportunities and approach them as such. Nobody now teach you how for adults. We have adult power own.
Yep.
You can change your life in this industry. To be honest, I don't want to see you half-assed and waste your potential. I don't want to see you unsuccessful in this new endeavor, because if you're watching this video, if you're a part of the community, and you're watching this video because you're interested to enter the remote job market, more want to see you successful, more want to hear a success story. Welcome to another episode of Beyond the 9 to 5 of the clock and the spot. I'm your host, Oshido Christie.
I'm your host, Carl Johnson. Today, since as it's near to the end of the year, you're going to be seeing this episode in 2025. We're going to be speaking about trends that you can expect to see in the remote workspace for next year. Well, this year, no.
Facts.
Alright, so first, a quick introduction. Remote work is basically transforming the world. We always hear about globalization when we were young. But since COVID, things have been a little bit more, how should I say it? We have been a bit more together in terms of we have been more connected.
Yeah.
Not just on a social level, but on a work level. More correct has always existed, but now it dialed up to like 12 from 10. So we have been doing our research and we're going to be talking about as a trend for next year, what to look out for, how to navigate next year. See if we can get you guys up and running, those who haven't been up and running for next year.
You're right, bro. Since remote work has always been around, but since COVID, we've been more connected. And we only go continue to grow in terms of remote access, especially with how AI and everything are coming to place. People might feel like, say, remote job at the moment hard to find, or it's a case where remote jobs are limited or you have to hurry to catch them because sooner or later they're not going to do. But in actuality, the remote job market is expanding every single day. And the reason why it expand is because people overseas are looking for cheaper labor. So in 2025, how the Caribbean set up at the moment, I would say there's a handful of people who actually have a remote job at the moment and I crush it. And we understand, that remote job is a great opportunity, but you have to remember that not because it's a remote job and it's a come from an international company, no means that the pay will always be up to par. It will majority of the time it go bill higher than local rates, but that doesn't necessarily mean say all of them go that higher. So it's about finding a good job in the market.
I like how you mentioned the fact about crushing it. I think the assumption is always wrong when you assume say people are the better than them what they really be.
I love how you mentioned that, because some of the time mentally we give people more credit than they actually are work towards. So you will see something a pop off and that trend and be like, say me not gonna do this because this is a trend now. Everybody are do it. But in actuality, people are not as committed to their goals as you give them credit for.
That is it.
People don't like work hard for nothing. People, we know this, what they call it, instant gratification era, which part everybody want to get the best results possible with doing the least amount of work. So we not tell us say if you do the most amount of work, we're just telling you to do more than the people who are do the bare minimum.
Yep.
And that should be the bare minimum for you, because the remote job market going into 2025, you just go expand.
It's been expanding.
It has been expanding non-stop, bro. People on my TikTok every single day, multiple DMs on my TikTok, people trying to get into the market. That are because people kind of realize the value of going into remote work.
That is it. And you can mention some industries you think can actually pop off. The lack of a better term.
For 2025, the industries that I feel like go take off the most would be Fintech, which is financial tech, IT, and the creative industries. Those are the industries where I take off at the moment, because the banking institution, the financial institution, them are go into remote work. But you have to remember that they're not as fast to remote work as everybody else.
Banks not really fast to nothing. They have to wait till they work first before
For
they
the,
implement it.
exactly, because of money you are talk about
You
here.
can't play.
When it comes down to remote work, security breaches are no joke. So it's all about positioning yourself. If you're an expert in these industry, it's all about positioning yourself in a manner where you actually can take advantage of these things in the upcoming year. Find out how to enter the market, research the market. If you're already in the market and you understand fintech, IT, or the creative space on a whole, understand what companies are looking for remote workers in these aspects, because how things are going so far is that people approach remote work like it's just a side thing, a side piece. When it can be, remote work doesn't have to be full time, but you have to remember that it's still work.
And I like what you say, approaching it like a side piece. Your entire career, that word, your entire career
Mm-hmm.
can be focused about around doing what you want to do in terms of if you don't want to be a entrepreneur, if you want to work in a quote unquote office space, I in a
Mm-hmm.
touch one office. It's not deep to just transition the thinking from guess what, I can do my career, I can have meetings, I can set this, I can do that, I can do ABC right down to Z from in my own home. I can get a promotion from in my own home, and I can crush it from in my own home. Because again, I work can done.
Mm-hmm.
And if these companies, not if, these companies are becoming more cognizant of the fact that, guess what, persons are used to staying home now. Persons who don't like to want to stay on, persons are in their own comfort zone. And if they treat you like an adult, as in give you the responsibility to be an adult and do your job from home, what's it you can't really reach up there from home? Obviously, you might have to do going to the office. Or in the Caribbean, and the context of this conversation is not about any type of office, it's about remote work and scoring and crushing it.
That is true.
Mhm.
You know what me realize as well is some persons actually get treated like a child when it comes down to how them navigate the remote workspace. If somebody employ you and for whatsoever reason they don't believe in your ability to be productive,
Mhm.
it not go work out for you, then go what? Then go release you because you not really meet the standard where them want you to be at. There is this one constant in the remote job market where everybody I try going to everybody I try everybody I make the same mistake. You reach out to somebody like me, Carivo. You reach out to it and you say, all right, help me write my resume so I can land this job. We write the resume, you get the job, but in the interview you end up talking yourself out of the job because what you say on the resume or what the resume says about you, you cannot reflect that when you're invited to the interview. Why is that? It's not that we're telling you to be fake in these interviews to pretend to be someone you're not. But just like how you're different from your mother than when you're around a friend. When you're around a friend, them you cost be a clot. But when you're around your mother, you're not doing none of that. It's basically the same thing. It's creating a different persona to enter a different space. That is really it.
And I, like what you said, that the fact that most remote job interviews take place over wireless communication instead of face to face, you would have to communicate and demonstrate on a different level than how you do demonstrate with a person that's in front of you. Because when you go into a regular interview, they can sense your body language, they can say all type of things. But a remote job, does a remote interview rather,
Mm-hmm.
they does see your face and your resume. Your resume and your face have it aligned. If you get what I'm saying by face.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So in terms of that, as you say, persona, understand the persona, understand that you quote, well, in a real life, quote unquote real life, has to be a different person professionally, especially if you're trying to sell yourself to an international company, especially if you're trying to sell yourself to an international company that you're going to be working remote for.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So yeah, in terms of that as well, workers are regular people should try to adapt as much as possible in terms of the things that are driving the space.
Mm-hmm.
You think about everybody has sell some online, wow, right? Everywhere somebody has sell one course. You must adapt to the space to say that I can fit in myself as a Caribbean professional in whatever space I'm in to get that job, to make a living, really. You had said previously, you don't pay as much overseas. But when you convert it to Jamaican dollars, you're good. Yeah, so we must learn to adapt to that. And in terms of that also, Oshido taught me this. A lot of these remote jobs, when you're searching it on LinkedIn, they have like, what you call it, bilingual people. Yeah, they want people can't read like Spanish or like French. So English and Spanish, English and French, English or what else? Dutch? All type of things. Try to get yourself a little bit more, what's the word I'm looking for? Diverse in terms of the languages, because Jamaica, we live not China there. And we were first colonized by Spain. So try to get yourself a little bit more diverse to can be more competitive in the remote space. Or else, unless you're not get a job.
Facts. And another way to look at it as well is when some people think about upskilling or learning something new, they think about, nah, this is just for one job, brother.
What me?
Isn't it? But a real talk. Some people meds that, bro, and say, if me have to do this for one job, me not do it. But meds it. Not attack them yet. Meds it. Cool. If you're planning to travel and explore different cultures, different parts of the world will speak different languages. Just think about it of an experience where, all right, me I learn Spanish at the moment for this job. This job go help me refine my Spanish, but when I'm going to one Spanish speaking country, I can truly experience the culture. Because how much I want to really go on different country for cock up in a hotel? I know that I go there for do. I don't want to go there for explore the culture, see what they have to offer.
That is it.
Some people travel because travel is a thing. And some people travel because they want to experience other cultures. So just think about it as preparing yourself for that future trip, that future version of you where you want to be able to communicate with locals within any different country.
I like what you say it, I like what you said. I tell you why. I learn Spanish for work. I learn Spanish. When I get to work and I make money after I work, I can go to Spain and actually talk to people.
Exactly.
And it's funny though, because I could diverging that we're gonna divert a little bit. Yes, people don't do certain things for the work. I have personally not done certain things for the potential of a job. And that's one thing I hate. Like the lifestyle, for example, you say you're not learn this for your work, you're not gonna do this for your work. You're gonna make money. You don't really want to work. The other day I was having a conversation with a person and they were talking about a dream job. I thought about it because the conversation was deep, and I was like, don't think about it in terms of dream job. Position your mind in one place and think about dream salary.
Oh, Mars!
Yeah.
Facts.
So,
Facts.
This is my dream salary. And I'm willing to do this job for the salary. I want to position yourself like that mentally. You will do certain things for your job. Because you get enough pay. The pay will compensate you. Reparations, them pay you to make more money. So like when you position yourself mentally like that, you're good. You see me? Learn a little Spanish because I guess you can go Dominican. You can go Dominican Republic. Y'all know what I'm talking about. The person behind the camera just made a great point already even touch on.
Yeah.
Once you tap into the bilingual market, you're basically you're in the river with everybody else.
Hey, no, in the river with everybody else. You cut off all your competition. You see, if you are worried about the amount of people who apply for jobs and you can't get none, learn bilingual. Become bilingual. Become bilingual. Learn Spanish. If you're in Latin America, I recommend Spanish because we're looking for Latin American jobs. And they are usually the one that requires someone to be bilingual. But if you are bilingual, you just cut out so many of your competition, so-called competition. Really and truly, there are no. Then just how we see recruiters time by applying for job with half-ass resume and half-ass LinkedIn.
That is it.
Resume. So, we still cut it down. And imagine, you work remote, bro. You earn USD or you earn Euro based on the company you work for. That is a huge move for persons in the Caribbean But that also comes with the risk, even though the currency nice, you know. You see me? At the end of the day, if the dollar go down or the dollar go up, it affect your pay. So one of the thing with remote works is that you can't be like, all right, you know, say 150K me I make per month. So at this I'm a budget and this and this and that. Based on the economy, that can drop or it can go up. It's more likely to go up than drop, to
Way
be
more
honest.
likely, yeah.
To be honest.
Mhm.
But I'm just saying that when it comes on to your pay, you know, you can't have 100% certainty of what it will be all the time. And I feel like that's something what people need to accept entering this market. Whether you like it or not, that is how the market operates. It's not nice depending on if the currency go down or up. But come on.
That is it.
You have to learn to adapt in a situation here.
In terms of that, also another risk, and I think it's even a bigger risk for the space and for the industry, is data breaches and cyber attacks. Like it's not easy out there. Everybody, I've gone to a situation before someone tried to log into my Gmail and that was not me. Right? So imagine you have the people them, all the people them information. Right? You have a data breach can make you lose your job. A data breach can blackball you.
Mm-hmm.
Really and truly. The blackball you don't even know.
Mm-hmm.
So those are risks. So the financial risk in terms of the dollar, but the more critical risk in terms of data breaches. So if you're gonna do this, you can use your device, make sure it's everything up and running.
Yeah.
Everything.
Don't play forget one of them antivirus or one of them malware software there.
Yeah.
Like it worth it. Believe me. In this
Yeah.
market, it's worth
Yep,
it
worth it.
because people know say remote job is a major things and hackers use that to their advantage. And them can use any little thing to get into your system and then you go get in a trouble for that.
Yep, most
So
definitely.
remote work is amazing, but I feel like we really need there's some part of remote work where people don't talk about a lot, but we really need to look at and accept and understand.
And
Say this remote work requires more than just the bare minimum amount of it requires more than just the bare minimum. It requires setting up systems to safeguard yourself and the company you're working for.
that is it. In terms of that also, I like how you say CF card. Everybody sees that 2024 was the year of AI. But
Mm-hmm.
then you say year of the dragon, year of the dog, what Chinese say.
Mm-hmm.
Year of the AI, year of ChatGPT 2024. Guys, for some people, I'm gonna say this, it might apply, it can get worse. Or for some people, I love AI, right? AI for president 2025, it can get way better.
Was AI for president 2025.
It's gonna be way better. So that trend will never stop, right? That trend will never stop any at all.
Mm-hmm.
And the most widely known one is ChatGPT. We all know well, nothing say all we know ChatGPT.
Uh,
We know ChatGPT.
all we know of ChatGPT. The problem though is that all of us don't know how to navigate these platforms.
It's not just know how to, don't try to. That is a direct attack, by the way. Because just ask it.
That is the thing as well. That is how people use ChatGPT. And to be honest, in the remote workspace, you can use ChatGPT for a lot of things.
Mm-hmm.
Depending on the job that you're working, the
Mm-hmm.
type of job, you can use ChatGPT to automate a lot of things, streamline a lot of things that doesn't involve sensitive information. But how we've been, I'm not gonna say taught because no one really teach you if you use ChatGPT, but how a lot of persons have been using GPT is by providing the bare minimum in terms of information that GPT needs
Facts.
to give you the results you're looking for. Bro, you know how me use GPT? Start one new chat and everything in my brain is same way me think, yeah,
Dumpy.
same way me write it on the paper. Word for word, bar for bar, English
Yep.
or patois, you understand
Anything.
it. You know? And then me tell him why me do it like this and what me expect him for. And then GPT give me a response that is tailored to what I want. It understands my thought now because I've expressed those. So it's all about using GPT in a manner to express your thoughts and desire and what you really expect from it.
Yes.
And from that point onwards, it can guide you in terms of making your life a whole lot easier.
Whole lot easier. For me, GPT has been extremely amazing. Because certain little things you would not want to do. You don't want to take up time write a certain email. So I guess you start a chat and tell the chat, please dedicate the entirety of this chat to making a work email. And if, for example, someone says something to you in an email, you just copy it out, you drop it in there, and say, give me a response that is witty and sarcastic and long-winded. Yeah, witty, sarcastic, and long-winded. And you make you just copy it out, you just throw it back over there. So first in, first out. That's how it works. You just scan through and say, all right, this makes sense, throw it in. They can use it. They can use it. They can definitely use it, as I said. And the beauty about it is this, when you're in a traditional workspace, management or supervisors may be afraid or may not want you to use AI because they don't understand it. You're in a workspace, which is your home, obviously, remote work. No one is going to be over your back. And companies that normally facilitate remote work normally understand are more than likely on the pulse of technology. Them know how to go on a John shop. And they don't mind if you're proficient in a use of AI. One more thing though, that I don't really use as much. I've used it before. It's one called Trello. I know that you use Trello, so you can explain to people what Trello is really and truly.
Trello is like a dashboard with cards, with flashcards basically. You can use Trello to manage your tasks. People who are in project management understand what Trello is about. So it's a case where based on the type of job that you do, if it's something that changes frequently, let's say today me I work in a community, tomorrow me have resume reviews, XYZ. You can use Trello to organize your thoughts and tasks, right, in a manner that keeps you aligned. And it's very simple. It's a very simple platform to use. So when it comes on to using Trello in the remote job space, it helps you keep organized. And one of the things where a lot of we do, we try to keep everything up as I'm go remember to do this, man. Really and truly, I remember.
I was one of those persons until I use my calendar for everything,
bro. my inbox, my WhatsApp inbox, crazy. But it's about finding these tools that will help working remotely efficient. I feel like a lot of people get caught up in getting the job. But because you're so focused on getting the job, you're not really putting no systems in place to what happens after you get the job. Because how these jobs normally work, you have a lot of free time before you get the job. But when you get the job, things probably start go like this, right? You don't really have a lot of time to set up systems, put systems in place. And I understand why people focus more mainly on getting the job. But when it comes on to getting the job, there are three main aspects that I would say you should consider: your LinkedIn profile, your cover letter, your resume. You see, once you have those three things down, it's all about applying for jobs. And when it comes on to applying for jobs, while I do recommend applying for jobs that you do qualify for, applying for jobs is a numbers game, which means apply for as much as you possibly can. But because you're doing it like that, because your LinkedIn, your resume, and your cover letter already set up in a one way, which except your cover letter, you can't use your cover letter apply for every job. That should be tailored to every job. But based on how you do your resume, you may not have to do that, depending on how you do your resume. So if it's a case which you have these three core things about getting the job or getting invited to an interview down, what you can start doing now, you can start doing more research into creating the space for remote work, because you never know. You're probably going to an interview and they say, all right, let me see what your work area look like. You never know what they might ask you in these interviews. So when it comes on to just putting certain systems in place, this is how then go come and say, all right, so how will you manage your task on a day-to-day basis? If you already have your Trello board, you'll be like, all right, let me share my screen for a second. This is how everything is laid out. This is how I plan to manage my task, and this is how I plan to manage my time. That now shows them that this person is serious. They not just look the job, but they already have systems in place. Yes. Systems in place to manage the job.
All right, one great question. Do you think you will be able to apply what you know in AI based on your resume to this job? You can show them I'm extremely GPT proficient. You can show them chats upon chats upon chats of you doing things. And you even show them on chat where you break down the actual job description itself, break down the skills that you would need, and can give you one actual flow for how you do things. So as you say, create the space so they can see that hey, this person is efficient,
Mm-hmm.
right? And
That
that
is
will
true.
make you more competitive in the remote
Yeah.
workspace.
So it's more look beyond just getting the job.
Mm.
Look
And
beyond that.
and then in terms of that also, as I said, this year 2024 was the year of the AI,
Mm-hmm.
year of ChatGPT. Certain skills for 2025, I think we should actually try to cultivate. Strategic thinking is one skill. Basically, it's thinking about long-term goals and decisions that align with them and making decisions specifically that align with them. So it's basically asking yourself the question, not the 5 year question, what can you do in 2 years, right? And giving yourself an answer and making an answer that you can actually apply.
Mm-hmm.
AI can never strategically think. I just want machine really and truly. We love it, but it is what it is. We still have manners to it, please and thank you, but it is what it is. Emotional intelligence. Again, AI cannot give real emotional intelligence. I can't tell that it's AI. But once you can actually understand your own emotions, you can understand other person's emotions. We've spoken about this a lot. Empathy and giving grace is a
Mm-hmm.
big thing. Just having empathy in a certain working area, plus your leadership skills, can put you in a position where you can lead persons effectively. Right? No machine can take that from you. So that is a thing I think we should try to cultivate for 2025. And the last one is creative problem solving, finding innovative ways to solve problems. What they said, there are more than one way to skin a cat.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, more than one way to skin a cat. There's way more than one way to make macaroni and cheese. That's just
Mm-hmm.
my one. Like so, like think about try to try to prime yourself to find creative ways to solve problems. Right? There should not be a problem. Be like MacGyver. Everybody know about MacGyver. Skill like MacGyver.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And once you have these things or this type of mentality lined up for 2025, 2025 gonna be your year.
That is true.
20 no or no. Or the year AI. 2025 are your year. Whatever you whoever you are, wherever you are.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Once you put these things down, 2025 can be your year. Right?
We have the skills though. Let's say we have the skills though. We know the trends and everything. I'll mention this in the last video as well. When it comes on to navigating the taxes in your local country, the truth of the matter is, it would be beneficial for you to get a budgeting app whenever you work remotely because it help you track your earnings and your expenses, but not just for tracking sake. We highly recommend that you pay taxes because if a case do come up which you need a loan from the bank, you need your NHT. If you're under 35, you're kind of rough on the NHT side still, you know, me not lie. You see me? You're rough on the NHT side.
But
But I'm saying this to say that if you're looking to file your taxes after you get paid, after the financial year finish, what you can do is you can use AI friendly apps as well to help you do this.
mhm.
But my personal recommendation is to reach out to someone from your local tax office. Here in Jamaica, persons from the tax office provide consultation or help, hands-on help when it comes on to filing your taxes for completely free. There is no charges at all attached to that. Kawa. And you want the money, brother? I'm
Exactly.
not gonna charge you for PMA.
I'm just thinking about something a while ago. Think about it, and I think I've said this to you before. Paying your taxes is like paying your dues for your country.
Mm-hmm.
And you see, when I realize when too much persons are doing certain things, the government will they'll start to see it. And they gonna want for them due. Give them their due from early, and we're not gonna have a lot of issues really. That's also what I think about it. Give them their due in some way or another. You set the pace. You give what you're supposed to give and just move it from there. As I say, they might need a loan. You don't know. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So think about it like a regular job. Only difference is you're more responsible for yourself on a certain level. Right? That's part of it. We initially spoke about being efficient and staying competitive in the job market because Every day things get more competitive, things get more expensive. Every day a new technology is released. Every day somebody born, new competition. Simple as that.
You're right. How you stay competitive is doing the things that I outlined before, which are the three main things that you will need to take into consideration before you apply for these remote jobs: your resume, your cover letter, your LinkedIn. There are a lot of jobs out there, and there are a lot of applicants out there as well. But if you want to stay competitive, these are things that you have to lock in and do. It's not something that the remote job market, I don't know what kind of idea people have in their mind of it. And I'm concerned because I've done a few I've done a few resume reviews, right, for persons who have been in the remote job space, are looking to go in the remote job space, and I understand why they send their resume over. And I understand why it's a case where they send over their resume and they've been saying that, I've been applying but I haven't been getting any jobs. It's because of how the resume is outlined. Let me give you an example. If you're applying for a sales position, your resume should convey your ability to drive sales, influence decisions, and build relationships. Those are the three things that makes a good sales agent. Your resume should not tell them how many customers you handle per day, and if it does, tell them the conversion of the customer. Tell them about the relationships you build. Tell them how you convinced a customer who was having issues where them and their wife weren't on the same page, and because you did XYZ, it led to a conversion. And all of that can be placed on a resume if you wonder. It's just about wording it correctly. We have the habit of listing out responsibilities and duties and resumes. That's fine if you're applying for local jobs. And it also depends on the type of local jobs you're applying for. And me just believe that that is fine because persons in local companies, I believe that they just don't expect a lot from us as Jamaicans, which is the reason why they accept anything. And that's sad because they just accept it because majority of people are it. I guess we can't expect better. Well, this I want better than majority of them, even though it's shit, right? So I feel like the fact that local companies are not keeping the persons who are applying for these jobs at a high standard, we feel like we can just do the bare minimum when it comes on to applying for jobs. When that is really not the case. We're in a global market when it comes on to the remote job space. So you have to put in the effort. Focus on writing the resume. Understand how you write the resume. And if you don't know how to write a resume, you can reach out to us for us to do that. Right? We have the Career Club community, which is now up and active, and there are resources in the community.
Free resources.
Free resources. Thank you for that. Free resources in the community that gives you a step-by-step process on how to write your resume. If you don't know what a good resume look like, we have a resume and cover letter repository which contains over 27 resume and cover letter across 11 industry for persons in the working class, recent high school graduate, and recent university graduate. So if it's a case where you're lost, you don't understand what you should be doing, you have examples you can look at.
Yep.
You have guides over there. If you want more guide, you can follow me on TikTok _period Oshido period _ and you find me, you can get more videos understanding this thing. Because my goal personally, Carivo goal as a whole as well, is to help Caribbean professionals land more international remote jobs. And I've said this in multiple episodes before. Me honestly tired for Jamaicans I get the bare minimum. To be honest, I am tired of it. Me feel like we deserve more than that. Me tired of the minimum wage policy what they have in place and companies barely paying over minimum wage just to say that we're paying you more than minimum wage. Like, what's the point of that, bro? Like, meds that for a second, bro. A lot of persons now get paid minimum wage, but they might get paid barely above. And what me call barely above is 5 to 10K above minimum wage. Zine, 5 to that hour, 25K per week. That is still barely above minimum wage. Me understand enough people go come in and comments, oh, minimum wage there to protect small companies. Then why the government not put a system in place where if you have make more than X amount and if you have X amount of employed, then minimum wage for this sector is XYZ.
Whole different episode.
What?
Whole different episode. Lisa Hannah. Yeah.
So stuff like that, right? We need to be competitive in the market. We need to think about this more than just the bare minimum. We need to think about these as life-changing opportunities and approach them as such. Nobody now teach you how to adult. We have to adult by our own.
Yep.
You have to figure some of the things you have to figure this out by your own, but it's not a flex to figure things out by your own like this when there's a community dedicated to helping you do just that. Right? It's like you can't afford free. That's basically what you're saying.
That's it.
So I want us as a region, as a country, as a people to put in the effort to get these jobs. Because the only way we can help make these local companies pay way more is to make them say we not settle for them bullshit anymore.
Alright, so you say they should treat us, we should not expect the bare minimum, right? And we should do more. But what are some tips for us? For us not to be the bare minimum? Because an idea, we just say is giving responsibility to the government and people out there. But I personally think that we as people should take personal responsibility for certain things. So what do you think they can do to actually take personal responsibility for themselves?
I think really and truly, I wasn't saying that it was all the government's fault for us doing the bare minimum. I'm just saying that companies on a whole accept that because that's the only thing we give. So you as a person, we as a people should put more effort into accomplishing certain things, into
Raising the
getting
standard.
yes. But it's not as simple as that because some people, I'm not gonna say some people, majority of people out here, they don't want to do that. People lazy, but there are persons out here who willing to put in work, and no matter how hard they criticize them, you can't stop them from putting in work.
Is it?
Because what? They know say people with fear crayfish brain go there do the same thing where they might try surpass. So they might try get you out of, they not look for you as a competitor. At the moment they hear you talk about me not do this, me not do that. You know, me I go send in just like this, and if they want it, they want it. If they don't want it, they don't want it because what? Them a lose out on good employee. Me I say, alright, say less. Yeah, what? Me go make sure say my thing good because me not leave it up to if them feel say. Me want them call me for one interview and be like, you know, say, you're a great candidate, but we'll find somebody else who did fit the position more or whatsoever. Right? Me rather them do that more than them look for your resume and that next.
Nope.
Me even want email I don't get back. So at the end of the day, we should take pride in how we present ourselves to these companies. That is what we lack. We don't have pride. People love say me full of pride, me can't shame.
Lies.
See, that's a lie. The only time you can't shame on somebody to rather do it. But what I'm to when you apply to jobs and they look for your resume and give one of them. You can't shame. You apply to 50 jobs and even one email for say rejected or one email for say come to an interview.
Then I respond to you not.
You're not shame.
That worse than say rejected.
You're not shame. Come on, man.
Come on.
I'm just saying, let us put more effort into this thing. Let us be more active into this thing. For real, I like people who put in the effort. I don't like people who come and feel like things must be handed to them.
I get that 100%. I get that 100%.
Yeah.
Alright, so in terms of that way, just say, based on everything in terms of the remote space, the biggest thing what people must do is build their LinkedIn profile. Build out your LinkedIn profile, man, to present who you are and the type of jobs that you want to get. Because really and truly, everybody have their TikTok, their Instagram, or you still have their Facebook back in the day, and you show one certain persona. But LinkedIn is from getting jobs and making money. So you have to be concerned about how you're perceived on LinkedIn, guys, right?
I like how you say that.
One more quick plug. The community is up and running.
Yeah,
Want
man.
to say it again?
Mm-hmm.
He's there. Where is it? Underscore period Oshido.
Period underscore.
Period underscore. Yeah. Quick club. Well, I could not come to that community. Yeah, but for real
Facts.
though, LinkedIn is extremely important to present the type of person that you want professionals and jobs and companies and corporations to look at. Right? If your LinkedIn is not up and running, I'm not saying you can't get it, but your LinkedIn is a big part of it. And I would say trends, LinkedIn I get more integrated with this AI thing, LinkedIn is getting bigger, right? The industry is getting bigger, and LinkedIn is a I want to say stalwart, but not a stalwart per se. LinkedIn is out there as the social media platform for persons who are advertising for jobs, who are looking jobs, who want to network professionally. Keyword professionally. If you don't jump on the bandwagon, you're gonna late. All right, if you're late, you're gonna late to make the money. Right? Everything else can go on, but once you're late for LinkedIn, you're really late. Again, quick plug. We can teach about LinkedIn in the community.
For real. Join the community for real because we really want to help out a lot of you guys land these international remote jobs.
Yeah,
For
and
true.
then a quick addition to this as well, I realize that a lot of persons say, yo, oh, it's always been this thing. Oh, I'm not afraid, I'm not this, I'm not that, blah, 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 blah. Again, LinkedIn is the social media platform to network professionally. You know, friends, your potential collaborators and colleagues.
Mm-hmm.
Right? If I develop a quote unquote friend relationship and then develop a real friend relationship from LinkedIn, that's a plus plus right there. But really
Mm-hmm.
and truly, it was not made for that. It was made to network with persons, like minded persons specifically, in and across industries. That's it. So you can't joke with a LinkedIn profile any at all. Can't joke with a LinkedIn profile. And additionally, everybody, not even everybody, a lot of people I realize want the hottest phone. The most important thing for me is my laptop. If you don't have a good laptop and if you don't have good furniture, say a chair nice. Right? If you don't have a good laptop and you have a good furniture, they have attempt to try to look the people them job. Because by the time I get the job, no matter what type of systems I make, the Trello and the ChatGPT, you're going to be physically uncomfortable. So you're not going to be at your 100%. You will not be able to do all these things. Get yourself prepared and ready for 2025. Right? We're not late yet.
That is true.
We're not late yet any at
That is true.
Yeah.
And I love how you mentioned that because you should always budget for the tools and certifications in industries like this. As Carl said, your laptop. These are things where you'd have to get in advance, but when you're in the position, you can always upskill yourself. You can always get new certifications. You can go on Udemy, get certified. You can use LinkedIn Learning, get certified. Right? These are things that mean something to employers because it shows that you're taking initiative.
One more quick point, as I say, you say employers. There's a dark side to this LinkedIn thing as well. As we know, there are a lot of scams going on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. LinkedIn, even though it's a professional place, there are predators out there all the same. So anywhere you're going to apply, do your thorough research.
Mm-hmm.
You should not be one of the ones that apply to a place that's a scam. That's a scam, not just a scam, as a place, as I said, that does illicit activities. Because I've heard about some places that do illicit activities, and again, the world is becoming closer and closer to technology. You don't know if your name or your username or your likeness there's somewhere where you don't want to be, really and
Mm-hmm.
truly. So you have to dig deep on your research under the right. Again, we're not late yet. Right? We're not late yet any at
That
all.
is true.
But like what you said about the whole upskilling thing once you get the job, that's 100% facts right there. Because you position yourself a certain way on your resume, you position yourself a certain way in the interview, you get the job. As you get the job, so apply if you get certification. If you're not happy. Because they gonna ask about it.
Mm-hmm.
And they might literally tell you in the interview, we're gonna take you now because you seem like you're trainable and you seem like you'll be a good fit, but you're gonna need to start doing this and that, blah blah blah. Always keep them time and your time. Isn't it?
Take things
They
seriously.
get things
In the
serious.
upcoming year, You can change your life in this industry, to be honest. Me don't want to see you half-assed and waste your potential. Me don't want to see you unsuccessful in this new endeavor, because if you're watching this video, if you're a part of the community, you're a part of the community and you're watching this video because you're interested to enter the remote job market. More want to see you successful, more want to hear a success story, more want to see you buy a car, more want to see you get your house.
And then one thing is this too, you know. I had initially mentioned not just as I say Coursera and Udemy, not true. Try to get qualifications that are internationally recognized. You have a lot of them out there you can search, but just get 2 examples. Udemy is amazing. But the stuff here can be internationally recognized, because really and truly, you're not about to just in the Caribbean, you're about the entire world.
Exactly. Another thing I want to know if you consider when you're entering these space is to identify industries or work with growth potential. Like, I know that a lot of us are looking part-time jobs, right? But you're looking that part-time job to add to your current income. But what if you can turn that part-time job into a full-time job and then rise the rank in that full-time job? These remote jobs are not meant for you to sit at an entry level position. That is not what we're aiming for. We want to elevate you, which is why we're called the Career Club. We cater to persons who are recent graduates, unemployed, changing career, and looking for career advancement. We cover all of it because we don't want you to just enter and then feel like God has left it on your face. It don't work like that.
Why Jamaican saying, because you're going as slow and come out as a dumpling or so?
Johnny Cake.
Ah.
So, yes, always look for those industries that has growth potential. And to be honest, you don't have to find an industry that has growth potential. You can enter a company, and based on how the interview went, you can know if the company has growth potential within it. And then you can, after that interview, do follow-ups to see how you can then go from here to here. But it's all about building and finding those long-term remote jobs. You want sustainability because the remote space is shifting all the time. With AI and everything coming in, it is changing. People feel like AI go actually replace jobs, but after using AI personally for so many tasks, I come to realize that AI makes the job easier, but it does not take the human element out of it.
And the human element is the most important element there.
Exactly. The most that would happen because of AI coming in is that they don't need as much people in the role. That doesn't mean they don't need the role any at all. Like, find those jobs and look for sustainability, look for growth opportunities. You can go far in the game, to be honest. You can go very far.
And another thing I'd like to add is this. We are talking about trends for 2025. You see, by the time you implement everything that we are talking about in this video, by the time you go on the community, go on the community and get some stuffs for free, right? You should be thinking about 2026 and beyond, right? Because an idea, the world is extremely fluid now, Didi, at this point in time. This point in time overall is extremely fluid. Lots of things going on, things are go up, things are go down. Oh, 2020 or 2021, you had crypto. Crypto. NFT. Right? NFT. You have all type of things all of the time. Right? So you have to think about how you can position yourself, be there. So by the time things reach at a place, you're there already and you just reach it. You have to think in terms of the future. All the time. And to be honest, personally, that's always how I think about things. I think about certain situations you can get yourself out of personally by thinking about this is going to affect my future. Certain situations you can get yourself in personally again, professionally, by putting yourself and say this is where I want to be, so I'm going to position myself right here. Always try to fit for the future that you want. Right? Yeah, man. Always try to fit for the future that you want. For you. And you should invest in yourself. I don't think we have said it like that instead of playing if you invest in yourself in our real life. We invest in ourselves for a lot of things that really and truly not really make no money. Right? Neither once to get the job, not really make no money legally. Right? Invest in yourself. Try the courses, free courses. Reach a place and you need to do a paid course, you do a look paid course. Try to invest in yourself because guess what? The responsibility is yours. I want you to want to step up and start take responsibility for what's going on. You're gonna excel in our real life. Right? Again, some people afraid of the AI thing. I remember the night I learned about AI. I went over to a different location. He was there and said, yo, teach me about what I go on. I will sit down. Right?
For real.
We sit down and he teach me about everything and things I'm gonna understand. I say what that mean. And he teach me everything what I go on. Until the next night again, I come over, I jump on it myself. Right? You have to take responsibility and try to learn on your own. Got an idea, nobody not go spoon feed you. And I say, I'm not gonna say nobody not go spoon feed you. Right? Join the community. Who will spoon feed you in the community?
And a gold spoon or silver,
Yeah,
a
man.
wooden spoon.
A wooden spoon. Yeah, man. A wooden spoon. But yeah, for real, you have to take responsibility for yourself. Right? And as I said, the finances is big on my head, you know. Save. Start save.
Mm-hmm.
Pay taxes and save because in a real life, anything can happen. Listen, anything can happen. Pay taxes, save, and try actually network with the people we meet on LinkedIn. Anything can happen. Any card can play. You want to in one position so you can take advantage of any situation and make some money.
That is true. You always have to predict the unpredictable in
Yeah,
the
man.
market. The market shifts often.
Often.
Market shifts very often. And we're reaching the end of the video, you know, but something that you guys should know as well is we have this tendency to go online and look for remote jobs or companies that offer remote jobs. What we should be looking for, or what you should be looking for, are staffing and recruiting agencies. Now, the reason why I mention this is because it correlates with finding stability. Find the good staffing and recruiting agencies that are always hiring for remote talent. The ones with record, that track record, you know that them now go under unless sitting tear them down. Wicked. Find companies like that who have a brand, who have an image to uphold, and you can align yourself with that company if the work culture and the company aligns with who you are or who you want to be and the path you want to walk on. So those are ways you can find companies to hold on to or grow into, looking for those recruiting and staffing agencies. Yeah.
So,
But we not lie, the remote trends for 2025 have a lot of potential for Caribbean professionals. Like I see persons in the Caribbean actually coming up to the plate and actually standing on business, entering these markets, leaving a positive impression on these companies, paving a way for other Jamaicans, other persons from the region to go ahead and enter these markets. Because we have to do it for ourselves. The government not do it for we. No for we say we're not doing this for anybody else. But at the end of the day, you have to follow your purpose so that someone else can follow theirs, because you never know who will look up to your story. So just live your life, do the best you can. You don't have to do it with the intention to have an impact, but whatsoever you do will have an impact.
that is it.
So you will always leave something for the next generation or the next person's following in your footsteps. Just be the best version you can be. Who knows? As Carl says, stories to tell.
Stories to tell.
One day you will be able to share your story. One day you will be able to inspire others. One day you will be able to show someone else that it is possible to walk a path they never thought possible. So always put your best foot forward. And if you think say you can't or won't be paving the way for anybody else, think about your child. Think about your sibling. Think about someone you truly love, someone who you'd want to pave the way for. Walk that path for them so they can look up to you. Mommy, daddy, I see mommy did this, I see daddy did this. You are the inspiration, regardless of how your life stay at the moment, regardless of where you are in life at the moment. Nothing is written in stone, and if you're at the bottom, you're not stay there for long as you try if you move. You're only stuck if you give up.
That's it.
So, may I beg you? Me I beg you, know?
Nah, beg you no. I can't do it right. I beg you nothing, I can't do it right.
Yeah, but just pave the way. You know, pave the way. 2025 is going to be an amazing year.
Amazing year.
And with all that being said, remember, career, purpose, truth.